Sarmad, Fanny, great to see you here in Cannes today. Thank you for joining me. Quickly before we get into the discussion of kind of looking at trends across the market, perhaps you could both give a quick introduction to yourselves.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Talia, for having us here. It's beautiful. So I'm a tax partner and I head the tax practice in France for DLA PIPER.
Great.
I'm an A corporate partner and specialize in private equity within the global network of DLA PIPER.
Fantastic, thank you both. Okay, so maybe to start, perhaps you could give me a bit of an overview or an insight into what are some of the key trends in the mid-market private equity at the moment.
Yeah, sure. So we'll not be the first one telling you that 2022 was extremely dynamic for the private equity, especially in the mid-market section. It will absolutely not surprise you that a lot of trends were continuing for the previous years, and 2022 was a confirmation of these trends. I would say that maybe if I would pick one that is very interesting for international lawyers within an international platform like DLA PIPER is the consolidation of many of the European and French companies and them going outside to seek growth and doing build-up operations. These transactions are very interesting because we can partner with our clients globally, across practices, across jurisdictions, and we help them not only for the transaction itself, but all the challenges of the integration post-transaction.
Exactly, because integration of the group is very important. It's important from a business and operational standpoint, but also from a legal and tax standpoint.
Sure.
So we work a lot on, what is the right structure for the group that fits, that matches with the operational constraints. An important topic that we have also with consolidation and growing the group internationally, as Sarmad said, is the transfer pricing policy, for instance.
Okay.
We help, of course, we do the acquisition, but we help our clients then to work on that transfer pricing policy to make sure that they have the right margin across jurisdictions to avoid the unpleasant discussion with the tax authorities.
Sure.
So integration of the group is one important topic. It's
Yeah.
not only that.
Definitely, and the integration of the people as well. Private equity, especially in France, for French companies, French investors like to give access to equity to their managers.
Yeah.
So when we talk also about integration, about managers within these firms that are with these companies that are being acquired, we're also talking about the new managers stepping up, being part of the global adventure with the rest of the management. So it's a little bit tricky and very interesting because you want to give them interest in the capital so that they're aligned with their financial investors, but at the same time you want to keep the balance with the previous management team that is still there, that contributed to the growth. So the balance is quite interesting, and also all the international aspects, because your managers could be from anywhere in the world and they have a lot of local constraints when it comes to their individual situation.
Completely, and I assume there are lots of tax rules as well when you're looking across kind of
Exactly.
geographies.
And not only for management, but also for the financing, for instance, because financing is very important when you want to grow the business. You need needs. So you have, of course, equity from your funds when you're a group, but also you need debt. And with the increase of the cost of the debt, we have a lot of work to make sure that we have the right structure to implement debt push-down, for instance, to make sure that you have deductible interest so that it reduces the cost of the debt. So this is an important trend that we see at the moment due to the increase of the cost of the debt. So it's
I can imagine.
another important topic of consolidation.
Definitely, definitely. And what about the large cap end of the market? What are the trends there?
So I would also do the same. I think that a lot of trends were confirmed. A lot of, for example, large cap funds were looking into smaller companies, smaller investments, and on the other side, a lot of smaller funds were looking into co-investment opportunities. The sector approach was confirmed. A lot of previous trends that we've seen in large cap deals have been confirmed. One that is very interesting, I will not go into the details because it could be a little bit technical, which was positive for all the companies that were very resilient during this period, is this new trend of the GP-led continuation funds.
Yes.
This is great opportunity for a GP not to take the company to the market when it considers that it has brilliant prospects and it wants to keep it within its management. And so the idea behind the continuation fund is to align everyone. We have LPs to whom we can offer a certain liquidity, but also they can stay within the investment and roll over into this single asset continuation fund, like we call it, next to secondary investors.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm going to stop with the technicalities. But what is also interesting is that for the GP itself, it crystallizes the carry, and for the management, it also offers the opportunity to give them access to a certain level of liquidity for their previous management package and replace it with a new management package. And this is a very hot topic in France now, because we have a new French case law that is completely revolutionizing the way we deal with management packages. And I think Fanny will have a lot to say about this.
Actually, it's a topic where we work a lot together. We work a lot on many topics, but over the last year we have worked a lot on how to structure management incentive plans for managers in LBO transactions, because the French Supreme Court completely changed the rules recently, a year ago, with a new case law. We used to have a pretty established practice where when you pay, the manager would invest at the fair market value. It was good. There was no issue. The gain at the end was taxed as a gain and as employment income. But the case law from the Supreme Court changed the rules, and basically, no matter if you pay the right price, what you have to make sure is that the gain is not the compensation of an employment, is not an employment income, and make sure that the manager acts as a financial investor. So we had with Sarmad to review all the terms and conditions of the contractual arrangements to change really the practice, the lever club provisions. It completely changed the practice, and it's something sometimes very difficult to understand for foreign funds, not French funds, because they have usually very good established rules in their jurisdiction, like in the UK, in the US, where it's very favorable. And in France, there is much more uncertainty, and you have to navigate through this uncertainty. So the best way possible, which requires a teamwork, working together to make sure that we have the best arrangements.
And it will go across all the market. It echoes best now with the large cap companies, because what's at stake is huge. So large cap funds will be a little bit more educated at this stage.
Definitely. And as you said, Fanny, I guess you need the experts, the DLA experts, to assist to navigate through those complexities.
Definitely, and through practices, because actually it's corporate, it's employment, and it's tax. And
yeah, definitely. And a final point I wanted to discuss with you both is around kind of trends that you're seeing throughout the industry. What are some big themes, perhaps what's being discussed here that you've heard of and that you can share more of?
Yeah, ESG is an important trend throughout, throughout the sector, the asset management sector, and it's not only a tick-the-box issue. It's clear that it's not the case. Our clients, our funds clients, are really hands-on to avoid greenwashing and make sure that they control their investment and they can measure the impact and the ESG impact. That's a very important trend that we see from the portfolio companies that Sarmad will talk about, but also at the level of the fund itself, with the new funds being raised, investing in carbon neutral impact funds, carbon neutral projects. There is a lot of creativity and new products coming on the market. So this is very interesting for us as lawyers, because you have to think out of the box, which is what we like. And at the level of the portfolio company,
it's not only at the level of due diligence, which was, like Fanny said before, it was a tick-the-box situation, and now it's really part of the strategy of the investment and post-acquisition, how we shape the governance in order to give control to the shareholders on all these topics. And private equity is always a leader in these trends. So it's a very positive and good trend that we personally appreciate.
And we are proud of our client that they lead the way on these important topics, which are very important.
Definitely. And at the end of the day, they're making the investors happy. The investors want to know that they're taking ESG seriously and kind of really making an effort in that area. Perfect. Well, Sarmad, Fanny, really great to speak with you both.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.